We've got portal losses with Rodney Gallagher, Sincere Bowers, and more in the portal tonight. We've also got visitors, though. So does it balance out? Actually, eh.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host here. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about a New Year's edition of the show. Happy New Year to you and yours. Welcome to 2026. And we're coming in hot with some portal losses, but some potential gains as we have visitors coming in. I've confirmed at least two, three, I think. We'll figure it out in real time as we go through, either two or three. None are in the portal yet. Them are either JUCO or Division II players. But we do have some tape to watch as well. An action-packed show to get to, obviously. So the visitors coming in are pretty interesting, I would say. To Barry Hampton, a safety, 6 feet 185 from Sanford, Florida. Big-time chip on his shoulder. Holy cow, the tape on this kid is incredible. Wait till you see his tape. We're also going to be talking about Mr. X-Line again. As you all know, the All-American linebacker, the All-American will be visiting as well, among others. Mr. LeBlanc, there's a LeBlanc as well that'll be visiting. But we have to start where we start, and that's always with the portal losses. Thank you guys so much for joining in this Locked On West Virginia. Thank you for being here. Let me think 1 second here. Ad read. It's late, man, or early, however you want to put it. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. All right, guys, let's dive straight into it. Hey, I am so glad them suck eyes lost, baby. Somebody should just clip that and put it on all the Buckeye social media, man. I am so glad. That made me big time happy, though. Yeah, so somebody putting that in the chat. I probably sound random right now, but yeah, I am happy about that for sure. I mean, they just won it last year. You know what I mean? Good Lord. They can't have it all the time. They won it, though. That's for sure. All right, portal losses. Let's get to it. 6 have gone in today that I know of. Sincere Bowers, Jalen Henderson, Asani Redwood, Rodney Gallagher, the defensive tackle Simmons, and Marshawn Oxley. So, it's a mixture of players that when you look at on the surface don't look like, were any one of these guys a major contributor to the team? No, they weren't. But that doesn't mean they're not losses either. Let's just start one by one. I think that's the best way to do it because there's really no easy way to go through this. And I'll start with who I think is the biggest loss of them all out of this group. First of all, Hammond Russell, I don't think has any eligibility. Maybe he's waiting for some kind of details to pin for him, like as far as his eligibility is concerned. He was a redshirt senior the last I checked, but you never know in today's day and age. Maybe somebody has clarification on that I don't. I'm juggling 2 shows now. So for those of you who don't know, by the way, I did take over the Locked On Oklahoma State show as well for now, as Cody Stovall is unfortunately recovering from some very serious blood clotting issues. It's very serious, and it's already cost him a leg. So we have to please keep him in your prayers, please. I'm stepping up so that he still gets paid and everything by the show. Otherwise, he wouldn't. You know what I mean? So, just make sure you guys keep him in your prayers. All right, so diving back into this. Sincere Bowers, obviously he showed some explosiveness last year. Was he as good as I thought he was going to be? No, unfortunately he wasn't. But I think that had a lot to do with our offensive line and the combinations that we put out there. You know, he showed the ability to take it to the house a couple different occasions, right? I mean, he had some big explosive runs last year, explosive catches. I do think he could have helped the team this upcoming year. After further evaluation, I think that the disparity between where he played JUCO ball and the Big 12 was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I mean, he made them kids look like they were standing still. In the Big 12, he was fast, but I mean, I don't think he was Tavon Austin fast like I thought he was going to be. That said, he's a great guy. I did confirm with him privately that he was not pushed out. So this is, according to Sincere, this is not a situation where they pushed him out the door. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, however you want. What that could mean, maybe there was something else to it, like they didn't offer him enough money, or he sees the writing on the wall. They're going to bring a bunch of players in. They've already got, you know, all kinds of really great running backs coming in the freshman class. You know, I don't blame him for seeing maybe looking for another spot. He said he also wanted a scheme fit, a better scheme fit or something. So, you know, if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. I understand. But I do want to say good luck to Sincere. I do think that he has a chance to be still a very good player at the Division I level, and he deserves it. So he's a great kid, a great man. You know, and I'm really rooting for him going forward. But, you know, on as far as how big of a loss is it, maybe a 5 out of 10. You know, unfortunately, he just didn't make a big enough impact last year for us to say that it would be this year. But I do think that he had a chance to make a small to medium impact this year. Kickoff return, punt return, like there's a world where he could have been very effective next year, but you know, didn't happen. So Rodney Gallagher is one that, you know, I was surprised to see, and maybe I shouldn't be. Stuck around for 3 years. I personally think he'll probably end up in North Texas. Seems like a perfect spot for him. I don't see Rodney as somebody that Power 4 schools are going to be clamoring to get. He's a good slot receiver. I think he's capable of starting at the Power 4 level. Is he an elite player? No, I don't think he is. At Group of 5 North Texas, he might catch 60 balls. You know what I mean? 70 balls. Like he's got that. He's that good. He's right there. Like if Nico could have played this year, he may have caught 40 or 50 balls, but it didn't work out that way. So he doesn't have as much explosiveness to his game as I thought he was going to have over the years. He's not as top end fast as I think a lot of us thought he was. He's a good route runner. And he's, you know, he's got good feel for the game. And he just, you know, he suffered behind a bad offensive line too. So a lot of it's not on him, but I think I give his loss a 6 out of 10, right? It's a loss. Elijah Simmons, rotational defensive lineman. You know, I thought he was going to be better this coming year. I really thought he had a chance to be pretty good. I wish he could see that. He's got a ton of ability. I don't know why he didn't play more this past year. I'm assuming just getting used to this level from JUCO can be something that can be difficult, but I consider his loss to be a 4 out of 10. Marshawn Oxley, obviously, we thought he would get better from 1 year to year 1 to year 2. And that's the thing, unfortunately, about these JUCO players. You know, you want to see them get into that second year. That's where they make their impacts. And this transfer portal has just screwed that all up because they just try one time at a school and then they make a decision to leave because they didn't have any production. And then before you know it, you've done that 4 or 5 times throughout your career and you've made no production instead of staying in the system and gaining continuity, even when it's difficult, when there's adversity. This loss sucks. I'd give it no more than a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. You know, I mean, he's not an elite player. He was never going to be a starter next year. Sonny Redwood, obviously, that's one that surprised me. I didn't think he would leave either. But certainly would have been nice to have him back again. But I get it. He's leaving, and I understand why. 3 out of 10. And here's the thing. So, and this is what's funny about this. Individually, no one of those guys are a big loss. Together, 8.5 out of 10. You're losing your depth, right? You're losing all the depth that you would have had, that you built up over the last year. What little depth you had over the last year, you've lost 65% of it, right? So I think it's funny how each individual player doesn't really hurt that much, but it's like a death by 1,000 paper cuts. You're losing a guy here, you're losing a guy there, and before you know it, you have to spend an extra $3 million in the portal to backfill, and that's what's going to really hurt us. It's unfortunate. And West Virginia is not going to overpay to keep role players. They're just not going to do it. They don't have enough. It's a frustration, guys. But and obviously there are others that are going to leave or will be leaving. But we haven't seen that yet. I imagine between the 2nd and the 16th, they're going to get courted. Who knows, man? We may lose everybody again. Literally, seriously. I'm not kidding. It could happen. I would not be shocked. Because Rich Rod and them. Here's something I'll say this, and then we'll get out of it. We'll go to the next topic. So what a lot of people don't think, I've heard a lot of people say that we're losing all these players and it's such a big deal and all this. But here's what I think, an extra part to this. These players are either Neil Brown leftovers or they're not the first portal window. They're not the first high school window. They're the second portal window, and they're the second high school window. So these are the picked over, bare bones leftovers, or the Neil Brown holdovers married together to make a team. That's what these guys all were, right? There's not very many people on the roster that you can say is a high-end player. Very few. Jaheim White, there's very few. Cam Vaughn. So, I mean, we lost them, and those are big losses. But, yeah, so, what I'm trying to get to here is there's a reason the coaches aren't paying to retain these guys. These guys, while decent players, you may as well go try to get a better player in the portal to replace them that has an extra year and just roll with them and sign them into a 2-year deal. And hopefully Congress gets involved at some point. That's got to happen sooner. The sport's really going to fall apart. Let's go on to break here. On the other side, West Virginia's got a trio of visits set up. I've just got done researching my last one right before I got on here. We'll talk about them next. Could West Virginia already be backfilling like we were just talking about? It would seem so. We'll be right back after the break. And, of course, this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends, and we love our friends, at FanDuel. Right now at FanDuel, they used to have an ad that said $5 is going to make you go holla. But right now, Fridays already feel different during basketball season. And FanDuel is making them even better. Every Friday night before the games tip off, FanDuel gives the fans a new way to kick off the weekend with NBA Happy Hour. NBA Happy Hour is your official pregame message. A limited time window where special offers drop right inside the FanDuel app before the action starts. For example, it's easy to check the weekly special before tip-off and make a move before the timing window close. Fridays from 6 to 7:30 Eastern time have become appointment viewing with NBA Happy Hour. Opening the FanDuel app during NBA happy hour kind of brings everybody together, and you get new bonuses, boosts, and surprises. Kind of adds that extra energy you need to Friday nights with basketball, and you don't even need to overthink it. Before you tip off, guys, check the FanDuel app and see what's dropping with NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. A little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the National Basketball Association. All right, guys, we're back here. Segment 2. I will crack open this old dew from earlier. Let's jump into a couple visits here. We've talked about Trey X-Line once before on here. Certainly worth doing again, though. I think he's a good player. 6'1", 215, 225 from University of Texas, Permian Basin. Two-time All-American selection, Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Year. 143 total tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and interception over his career. 2 years, I believe it is. He is a 2-time All-American there, like we said. He's nominated for the Harlan Hill Trophy, guys, which is literally the best player in Division II football at all, right? He's built a reputation on being a monster tackling machine and somebody that can really, really go. He's got an official visit set for West Virginia on January 9th. So we'll have to see what happens with him on that situation. But I definitely like what I see out of him. He's the kind of kid that could make a big splash at West Virginia. At least we hope so. Moving on to Will LeBlanc. This kid's got some energy to him. I don't know how talented he is. We'll watch the tape. 6'4", 300 pounds. He's also from UT Permian Basin. Redshirt freshman, and this is kind of what gives you a little bit of hope for him. He's 6'4", 300 pounds, right? And he's scheduled visits to West Virginia, Wisconsin, and others. He's also heard from Western Michigan, North Texas, and others. I'm going to get to the tape on this one. I think it'll be easier for this one. An athletic defensive tackle, no doubt. I think that's the first thing you should say about him. And a guy that can absolutely make an impact for West Virginia this year. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. So there he is from the inside. Good inside move. Nice swim. There he is from the outside. Nice coming in inside on the stunt. I don't know what happened there. Kind of hard to see. But you can see him tracking the ball here, chasing the ball down from the inside right here. Watch him scrape in and then just make the play. Gets his hands on a guy, rips away. Makes his tackle in the open field. Kind of pretty good there. Now he's bull rushing a guy out, sticking him at the line of scrimmage and eating him alive. So this guy basically needs better competition. He's eating these guys alive. You know what I mean? These guys had no chance against him. I would imagine that at the Big 12 level, he should struggle quite a bit more. But, I can see the potential here, certainly, and a kid that I wouldn't want to overlook. I mean, he's a good player. He looks pretty good. I love the size, love the ability. He's got some athleticism. He could be a fit. Is he an elite player? I don't know about that. I don't think even X-Line is a better player, I think, from my study. But he's certainly got a lot of other potential that, if things click for him, he could be an Eddie V type player. I could see that. Guy that's maybe not too flashy, but does all the right things and is really good in run defense. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about where'd it go? Tristan X-Line, Will LeBlanc. Seems like I misplaced one of these guys here. Let me find it. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Tristan Exline, Will LeBlanc. What the heck is going on here, man? Well, anyways, Taveri Hampton. I know him by I know his name by heart, but I thought I had him in my bullet points here. Taveri Hampton will be visiting West Virginia, a safety out of junior college in Sanford, Florida, I believe it is. On his profile, he said he's got a chip on his shoulder, play style of a fox. He was a really good player last year at JUCO. So it says 6 feet, 185, top JUCO safety, first team All American safety, 115 tackles, 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 19 tackles for loss. And let me just tell you guys right now, this tape is very impressive. There's a reason he's got Arkansas, West Virginia, Wisconsin. Like, he's got all the big Power 4 schools after him. This is the one we want out of all these guys, in my opinion. Check this kid out here. So as you can see, he's playing deep in the safety. Watch him trigger and come up and just boom, nice hit. Carl Joseph type hit. On the others, same play, except this time he's back in coverage. Now look at the speed once he gets the ball here, and watch how he moves. I mean, it looks different. You can tell he's a way better athlete than anybody else on the field. So, he's got some ability here. And the 4 interceptions he had last year were impressive as well, because safeties just don't get as many balls thrown their way as corners do, but they can put themselves in good spots to do it if they know the defense well enough. Here he is playing way back again, but when he triggers, man, whenever he decides to come up and make a hit, he's got some big-time explosiveness. He really does. So I think he's got a chance to be a really good piece for somebody next year. Whoever decides to pick him up, I think will have a big-time piece for themselves, because this kid loves to hit. He loves to blitz, and this is exactly what Zach Alley needs on his defense. These kind of guys that have been asked to cover, but also, hey, if you're having a bad day, we can put you on the edge and let you pass rush from the slot or something like that. And he's going to make it difficult on people because he is strong, fast, and also just still learning the game. You can tell on some of these plays. So I really like this one. He's my favorite one for sure. And a lot of ability here. So a lot going on with him. But yeah, I'm excited about it for sure. I also say, well, let's go to break first. We'll come back and talk about it next, right after the break. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by GameTime. With GameTime, guys, you didn't know, find out with me, because there's nothing like college football season. The tailgates, the packed stadiums, and being right in the middle of the action. Well, that's exactly what we need. With the energy, the bands, the moments you remember to be forever. Well, actually getting tickets, that's the part that's frustrating, with long queues, hidden fees, and prices jumping at checkout. That's why GameTime gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to unlock amazing college football tickets and experiences in just a few taps. I enjoyed the GameTime app, opening it up and looking for upcoming college football games. And obviously West Virginia was there. And I was surprised at how really fast it was to find the great seats for them. If you want to be like that, you want to go to your zone deal section where they stand. That part stands out too, because you pick the zone, they pick the section, and you save even more. Or if you want to be specific, you can view your own seat in the app before you buy and just figure out where you want to be in the stadium. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use that code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase, where the terms apply. That's LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off today. And download the GameTime app today and ask yourself the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate y'all. Happy New Year. I know it's been a rough 2025 for a lot of you. I know some of you guys had a rough 2025. So hopefully you have a better 2026. It's hard to believe it's 2026, but here we are, right? Um, I I'm excited about the basketball game, tomorrow. I mean, that's going to be fun. Obviously, the playoff game is going to be fun, but I am really excited for that portal to open. I can't wait to finally see what we're going to do because I think we're going to be in a spot to get some players this year as long as we don't get outbid by everybody because everybody's playing with that cap money. So at any point in time, if somebody wants a player bad enough, they could offer quite a bit for him just based off the 12 million they got. If they want to be stupid, and there's some team. Here's another thing. Some teams only need 7 or 8 guys. So even though they've only got 12 million, they're only spending it on 7 or 8 guys. It's 10 guys. So they can offer a lot for one player if they need to. Unfortunately for West Virginia, we may be between 20 or so and 22 million or so in that range, Um, what are you going to do if, by the time you retain the roster that's left and you got to sign a couple big time players, a couple million here, a million there, excuse me, you're going to be in a spot where it's going to be difficult. So hopefully West Virginia continues to evaluate well, get the players they want. Michael Hawkins is somebody that I really want for West Virginia after watching his tape, and I think a lot of you guys do too. Now that it seems like Deuce is off the table from Auburn, so which that sucks because he was really good, and potentially great. It's just that I've been told that the money that they're asking for out of his camp is ridiculous. He's a former 5-star player and absolutely crushed it at Auburn when he was there. So if don't even waste your time to go look up Deuce Knight because you'll just get heartbroken. He's literally Pat White made over. That's in his bio. Whenever they evaluated him coming out of high school, that's what they said. Most reminds me of Pat White. That's the kind of speed he has, and he's probably got a better arm than Pat had, to be honest with you. But yeah, so we'll see. Obviously, would love to see it happen for us, but I am nowhere near getting my hopes up. I'm going to be happy with whoever we bring in as long as they're able to throw it some and mobile, right? That's what we need. So we know that, they know that, and we have to trust that they will. It's just that we're all impatient. We want what we want now, and that's just the way it goes, man, for all of us. I'm really tired, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. I wanted to do a New Year's edition show just because, and wish you guys a happy new year. By the way, we hit 7K yesterday. So thank you guys for 7,000 subscribers. That means a lot. And thank you guys for almost 10,000 subscribers on Locked on Oklahoma State. So together we're pushing towards 20K. So hey, let's do it, man. Appreciate you guys so much. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Make sure you check Locked on West Virginia out every single day for your first listen. Locked on Big 12 for your second listen. Like, share, subscribe. And go country roads. Good Lord, I'm tired. Can you tell I'm tired? Cue country roads and go Mountaineers. Oh, God. I'm out of here. Good night, y'all.